You're listening to The Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with Lyndia Grant.
Well, good evening, Radio 1 listeners. It's so good to be here with you this afternoon. I know I must sound good. I'm right here in Radio 1, Spirit 1340 in the Spirit Studio. Isn't that a blessing? Sounding nice and clear on this beautiful day. I just want to welcome everybody to our show today. It's good to be here. And good to be back in the station again. The place is empty, but I'm here. We are going to have a wonderful show today. Our special guest is Attorney Shalore Williams. We're going to come back and talk to Shalore after we talk to our own Dr. Julianne Malvo about politics. But all right, well, we're going to talk to Dr. Julianne Malvo. Dr. Julianne is talking to us today all the way from Los Angeles, California State, LA, where she serves as the Dean of the Ethics Committee. But she's going to talk politics to us today. The Dean of the School of Ethics. Talk to us today, Dr. Julianne.
I would love to. I still hear a lot in the background, but let's if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's talk the economy. We have a president. Okay.
I know she's going to get some help, so just try to talk if you can. We can hear you.
Okay, we have President Biden is on the ropes. He's getting all kind of criticism about the treatment of Haitian folks at the border. We saw the horrible picture of the border patrolman on a horse with using his reins almost like a whip against Haitian folks who are trying to come into the country. President Biden has said that there will be consequences, but you know,
hold on just a minute. They said my previous show is playing.
It stopped now.
Okay, it stopped now. Okay, I think we.
It was they were playing Shirley Caesar.
Okay, so
is Adrian Washington, so I know that was a long time ago.
Shirley Caesar. Okay, all right. So
I don't know what you want to do.
Is everything off now? Are you all okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, just keep on going now.
Okay, as I was saying, you know, President Biden is getting a lot of criticism. The thing that's highest on a lot of our list is, of course, the treatment of these Haitian folks who are coming in and the way the Border Patrol was dealing with them, which was just it was absurd. It's nothing. We've seen nothing like it ever. We've seen things like it in enslavement, whipping people. And so the president has said that people will face consequences, and we're waiting to see whether that's going to happen or not. Meanwhile, he's had a rough week. Not only do you have the Haiti situation, you have Democrats basically falling apart at the seams. He's had a series of meetings with various Democrats trying to get them to come together because, you know, the government could shut down. Now, last week when people said the government might shut down, I'm like, nah. But the fact is that we've hit the debt ceiling. As of September 30th, if something does not pass, the government could shut down. And what does that mean? Well, let me tell you what it means to you. If you've got a loan in the queue at the Small Business Administration, you ain't getting it. You know, if you need a passport, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Food stamps and some other social safety net things may last for a little while, but they're not going to last indefinitely. So people and Republicans have dug their heels in saying, no, we're not going to do anything about this. Well, they need to and they should. And we basically need to look at this and say, excuse me, but what's wrong with y'all? But the other thing, Lyndia, this could plunge us into a recession. A recession that's worse than what we experienced with COVID, because it takes a long time to recover from these things. I mean, we may only go 2 weeks to a month without government services, but guess what? If you're the person who just barely survived COVID, you spent your savings. You need your check.
Yeah, it's gone now.
You need your check. And so this
I'm one of them.
It's unconscionable to put people in this situation, but that's what they've done. So we need to pay attention to this economic news, because basically the money that was being asked for to lift the debt ceiling. This is not new spending. It has nothing to do with infrastructure. It's old spending. It's money to pay old bills. And so we have to, people say, well, Democrats want to spend all the money. Republicans already spent the money. The reason why we're in the situation we're in is because of those orange man tax cuts. So let's just not get twisted. Anyway, economic news is really important. Let's continue to take a look at it. The other two issues that I would just raise, booster shots. Data is coming out that suggests that those of us who are over 65 and those of us who have conditions need to get these boosters. Meanwhile, of course, there's some pushback, and some people still won't get the original shot. I'm not going to debate the shot issue on the air. I think people should get shots, but a lot of people don't. That's your choice. But if you want to be fully protected and you're over 65, get your booster. And if you're not going to get a shot, think about who you're endangering. That's all I would say there. Great news from California. Karen Bass, former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, according to the Washington Post, is announcing for mayor. Now, what I will say, I've been with Karen a few times in the last couple of weeks. She has been talking to all the right people about whether or not she should run. It's a big risk for her because she does have a safe congressional seat. And if she loses that, who knows? And who knows who would replace her, especially in this divided time. But to think about having Karen Bass, we have so many great black women mayors, Lyndia. You know, London Breed in San Francisco. We have Keisha Lance Bottoms. Of course, she's going to be stepping down. But in Atlanta, we had Kim Janey in Boston. That didn't work out, but we're not deterred. We have some wonderful black women who are leading, and to add Karen to that list would just be so exciting. So we have that possibility coming here from the City of the Angels, and like I said, I couldn't be more excited about it. I think it's going to be really. I know you'll be
right involved in it, so keep us posted on that one.
I most emphatically will be.
Yes, indeed. I love it. Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you. Well, I have taken up enough time from y'all this afternoon. I don't know what time it is. But anyway, I'm always happy to be with y'all, and let's just not only say a prayer for our economy, but folks, if you need any advice, don't be spending up all your money this weekend.
There you go.
Because you might need it.
All right.
Because you really might need it. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Julianne Malvo, talking politics to us.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. You're listening to the Lyndia Grant Show here in Washington, D.C., right here at Spirit 1340. Now we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we will talk to Attorney Shalore Williams, who is going to be talking about the status of COVID and what's been going on in D.C. regarding estate planning, and she's going to just bring us up to date on how all that is going to come together. So we'll be back in a moment.
If it wasn't for my care coach at AmeriHealth, I probably wouldn't be so healthy right now. As a man, we don't get checkups or see a doctor regularly anyways. It's probably just a man thing because none of my partners go either. We know we should, but we just don't, and hope it works out.
So what changed for you?
AmeriHealth assigned me a care coach, somebody that gives one-on-one help, answer questions, explain things, and help set my appointments. She also helped me understand what having high blood pressure really means and ways to manage it so it doesn't kill me. It ain't nothing to play with. If you're a member of AmeriHealth, ask for a care coach. I'm glad I got mine.
At AmeriHealth, if you need a care coach, you can have one. Just call us at 1-877-759-6224 to get connected. 1-877-759-6224. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Washington Informer religion columnist Lyndia Grant.
Ida B. Wells, born into enslavement, was a journalist and activist. An avid reader, she read through the entire Bible many times. Wells was once asked to leave the ladies' car and sit in the colored train. She refused, and train officials pushed her. Ida B. Wells retaliated, but was pushed off the train at the next stop. A crowd of whites applauded. She vowed to get even. 3 of her close friends were lynched for opening businesses that cut into profits of whites. Everything changed for Wells. She spoke out internationally against lynching of blacks for the rest of her life. Through her efforts, lynching in America nearly disappeared by the time of her death. And NAACP founder, we salute Ida B. Wells for Women's History Month.
Read more in the religion column of the Washington Informer, an award-winning African-American newspaper. We don't report crime or gossip, just positive news. Pick up the Washington Informer or visit us online at washingtoninformer.com. Call 202-561-4100 for more information.
We are back. You're listening to the Lyndia Grant Show here on Spirit 1340 WYCB. Now we're going to talk to our main guest for the day, Attorney Shalore Williams. She is a partner at Alton Lewis and Shalore and Carrie Williams, located in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Shalore graduated from Georgetown University School of Law, and she was my boss when she was the chief of staff at the Council of the District of Columbia for Ward 1 at Council Member Frank Smith. And then she also was an advisory neighborhood commissioner. As you can see, she's political as well. And she served as the principal of St. Augustine's Catholic School right over there near 14th and V in Ward 1. Welcome to today's show today, Shalore. I'm so glad you're going to be here to talk to us about some decisions that people might need to make regarding estate planning and bring us up to date on wills and what's going on with this worldwide pandemic and coronavirus. Tell us how you're going to bring all that together.
Okay. I first want to thank you and your listeners, and I want to thank you for all your referrals. I want to thank the listeners for calling in at the law offices of W. Alton Lewis and Shalore Williams. But today, I usually talk about wills, writing a will, but today I really want to focus on why we should prepare a healthcare power of attorney. Mm-hmm. Right now, this pandemic is something that is out of control. The country thought that it could control it at the end of May of this past year, but then the Delta variant came, and then all went haywire again. Do you know right now, as of yesterday, or as of the 21st, Maryland had reported 772 deaths, all right? Mm-hmm. D.C. has 345 hospital beds for ICU, and 150 of those beds are in use to this virus.
Wow.
We've had 670,000 deaths in this country due to this virus. Now, mm-hmm. that tells you should write a will. But I'm telling you should write and prepare a health care plan. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why. Sometimes when you have the COVID virus and you overcome it, you walk away from it. In some cases, you do not really walk away from this virus. It catches a hold of your organs and it stays there. Mm-hmm. And people who have risk factors like high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, obesity, and other conditions, they have to be very, very careful. Mm-hmm. Because this virus is called like a long hauler. It catches on to your lungs, your nervous system, your kidney, your liver, and other organs, and it wears it out. You cannot get over it. The virus is only supposed to be in your system for, let's say, about 2 weeks. That's not the case with everybody. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes months, not weeks, not days, but months, Lyndia.
Yes, and I've heard. Mm-hmm.
I've had a friend of mine, when she got off that ventilator, she had to learn how to walk again. She had to learn everything all over again. It's a sad thing that Virginia has 36,000 hospital cases of this virus. They reported 12,000 deaths from this virus. They've had over 849 cases of people testing positive. Now, all I'm saying to you, that people say they don't want to take the vaccine, fine. You don't want to take the vaccine. But when you get sick, Lyndia, you need somebody to talk to a doctor. Because guess what? You won't be able to.
That's right. You won't.
You won't be able to talk to the doctor. And if you don't have anybody that you can trust, you have to find somebody that will talk to the doctor for you. But if you prepare a power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney document, you're telling the person and the doctors what you want to have done when you can't physically talk to them. I think that's important.
It is, definitely.
I think right now it's more important than writing a will. When you look at 36,000 people in Virginia are in the hospital. Now, 12,000 people have died, but at least 24,000 people in the hospital. They're not able to talk to the doctor.
And what is that paperwork called? Is that a power of attorney, or what is it that you have to prepare?
It's called a Advanced Healthcare Directive.
Okay.
Advanced Healthcare Directive. It is one of the most important documents a person could have in their private papers. The last will and testament is one. A durable power of attorney, which deals with your finances, is number 2. And the Advanced Healthcare Directive is number 3, because that's the document that doctors ask you for and say, do you have a living will? Let's say some people call it a living will. Do you have a living will? Do you have a directive to tell us what to do when you can't talk to us? And this virus is traveling all over this world. And right now, I'm sure that our scientists are having studies over and over and over again so that they can find the right combination to handle this virus. I've had the Pfizer virus, the Pfizer vaccine, and I'm ready to get my booster, because they're saying now that those of us who are over 65, those of us who are obese, those of us who have special conditions, healthcare conditions, we should take that booster. The government, the CDC or the FDA has not yet approved for the Moderna or the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but they'll be next. They'll be next. This problem we have is because between 40 and 50% of the people in this country have not had their first vaccine shot, the first one. So since we haven't done that, some of us don't even want to wear a mask. Let's prepare a advanced healthcare power of attorney or
living will, and
will.
Tell them if they mention that they heard it here on the Lyndia Grant Show, you have a discount for them.
I have a wonderful discount for them, Lyndia. I really do, because this is an important time, and we don't want to just overlook it. It's time for a reality check. When you talk about 600,000 people dying from this virus alone, not talking about the heart attacks, not talking about being hit by a car, not talking about any other way a person dies. It's time to have a real reality check. And if they say that they've heard this discussion, or you have mentioned it in the future, and you have said to them, go to the law office of W. Alton Lewis and Shalore Williams for your estate planning documents, especially for the healthcare directive or the living will, I will give them a wonderful discount.
Exactly, yes. You always do. That's why I want to make sure listeners out there, and you don't know whether it's coming your way or not. So it's something you need to plan for. It's kind of like having insurance on your home or your car. Why do we put pay all that money every month on our car insurance? Because we don't know. You may live 20 years and never have a car accident, but you still got to keep paying every month. So this is just something that we have to do. So when it happens, we'll be prepared.
That's right, Lindy. It is hitting us left and right. It starts off, we think we have a small cough or a cold, and then it's done. 2 weeks, you're sick as a dog, as they say. We just have to pray that the scientists will find a way to help us all get over this virus, and our leaders in the Congress. Tell them
the phone number they can call you at so we can get ready to get my clothes in.
Okay, you can call the law office of W. Alton Lewis at 301
Go ahead.
341-5577. That's 301-341-5577.
Say that number one more time, Shalore.
301-341-5577, and just mention Lyndia's name, Lyndia's program. Just mention it, and you'll get a wonderful discount. Because this is important, Lyndia. We've got to get people to prepare for hospitalization or death.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you for being my guest today, Shalore. I know we lost a couple of minutes, but you got quite a bit in, and I appreciate you for it. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Lyndia. Anytime.
All right. Talk to Shalore and Carrie Williams. You can give her a call. I know this is her cell number, but call her on 202-58. No, that's her, another different number. She gave you the number. Let's go on now. I'm going to invite you to join me tomorrow for a walkathon at RFK Stadium at the Fields. It is the Episcopal Church of the Atonement. They're having a walkathon and wellness health fair. It is going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the rector is Ricardo Shepard. Call 202-582-4200. Then on Sunday morning, join me at the All Nations Baptist Church, where our pastor is the Reverend Dr. James Coleman. His sermon is going to be Profit and Loss. And you can give us a call at the All Nations Baptist Church, where we have live worship at 11 a.m. located North Capitol and Rhode Island Avenue Northeast. Call 202-832-9591. That does it for our show this week. We ask that you would subscribe to our YouTube page, read our column in the Washington Informer newspaper, and tune in again next week. We hope that you have enjoyed our show with Shalore and Carrie Williams, and we're going to close now. Words, thoughts, and deeds have a boomerang effect, so be careful what you send out. Scripture says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So think on these things from the Lyndia Grant Show. I'm your host, Lyndia Grant. Until next week, good day.
Thank you for listening to the Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with your host, Lyndia Grant.